All right, I'm first going to check to make sure my bus is sitting level, indicating no suspension issues. There are no puddles, indicating transmission, fuel, or tranny leaks. At the top of my bus, I have clearance lights, 8-way ambers, red and amber, turn signals, headlight assembly, all secure, no cracks, brakes, and clean. My school bus is properly labeled with no tears. My flat and convex mirror are securely mounted. My crossover mirror is securely mounted. My bumper is secure with no missing bolts and secure crossarm. We'll demonstrate later. My other convex mirror. You didn't even unlatch it. Look. That's right. On this side of the engine compartment, I'm going to be checking all my air lines and brake lines to make sure there's no frays, tear, bubbling, or rubbing. My air compressor is gear driven and is secure with no missing bolts. I have a coolant system, reservoir here above the add mark, radiator, fan shroud, fan blades with no broken or missing fan blades, water pump secure with no leaks. My belt has less than 3/4 inch slack, no frays or tears. My alternator is belt driven with no missing bolts and no frayed wiring on the engine system. I have a gear driven power steering pump with secured hoses, reservoirs above the add minimum. I have a transmission dipstick here, which I would check while running in neutral to at least add or above. Oil I would check while not running and needs to be at the add or above mark. I have a steering column, which I would demonstrate less than 2 inches of play later. Secure gearbox with no leaks. I have a pitman arm, drag link, and tie rods are all secure with no excessive wears, with castle nuts and cotter pins in place. My leaf spring mount and shackle are in place, no broken or missing leaf springs. My U-bolt is secure with no missing bolts. Shock is secure with no excessive leaks. My frame has no cracked brakes or welds. I have a brake line. Air line with no cracking, weathering, or bulging. Brake chamber with no cracks, breaks, or bends. My S-cam assembly and all that, an auto slack adjuster is assembled, no missing parts, pin in place. My pads through the inspection hole are nice and thick. My drum has no cracks. My inner and outer wheel seal has no leaks. My lug nuts are secure, none missing or cracked, with no shiny spots indicating loose. My rim has no cracks, breaks, or dents or welds. I have a matched set of radials with no less than 4/32 tread. Recaps are not allowed. My valve stem is properly located with a cap. If I had a gauge, I would check the manufacturer specification. On this side of the engine, I have an air box that is secure. Intake or exhaust with no leaks, looking for soot marks. Hangers are in place on the exhaust. Washer fluid is secure with fluid. I will demonstrate that it works later. Firewall on back exterior of the bus. My mirrors are secure, turn signal, my door is secure, no bracket hinges. Right here is a stopping point that we're going to want. Right here, I'm going to look up. I have clearance lights, amber to the front, red to the rear. Emergency exits properly labeled with reflective tape all the way, no cracks or breaks in the glass windows. School bus is properly labeled. Reflective tape, no tears. Reflector, amber to the front, red to the rear. My fuel system right here, cap is in place. Tank appears to have no leaks and puddles underneath it, and fuel lines, no leaks, no puddles indication. Underneath the bus right here, I have a drive shaft, which I can peek through and see. It has no excessive wear, free and clear debris, and safety U-hangers are in place. Back here at the rear of the suspension, I have a leaf spring with a shackle and mount, secure. Back to the top and bottom plates of the airbag. Airbag has no weather cracking or leaks. Lines are secure. My sway bar linkage is secure with no excessive wear on the bushings. My U-bolts are secure to the axle. My shock has no excessive leaks. Again, we're checking frame for cracks, breaks, and welds. Coming off that frame, I have an air line for my brake system. No bulging or weather cracking on the air line. We're checking that brake chamber in the back. No cracks, dents, or bulges. My S-cam, which is auto adjusting, no missing components. My pads are nice and thick through the viewing hole. Drum has no cracks. Inner and outer wheels sealed, appear to have no leaks. Lug nuts are secure with no broken or missing. No shiny spots indicating loose. I have rims back here with no cracks, breaks, or welds or dents. I have a matched set of radials that have no less than 2 seconds of tread. Free and clear of debris. Recaps are allowed. There's no bulging, cracks, or chunks missing in the tire. If it had a mud flap, I would check it. This bus is not equipped. Right here I have a lift door, checking the hinges, smooth operation, inspecting no broken missing components. Weather seal is in place. When I come around to the back of the bus, I have clearance lights red at the top, school bus properly labeled, emergency door properly labeled, overhead red and amber lenses. I have a turn, brake, backup, and tail light assembly. No cracks, breaks, free and clear. Back emergency door opens and operates smoothly. Seals in place. Bumper is secure with no missing bolts. Exhaust is properly labeled. When I come down this side of the bus, I have a stop sign properly labeled on one side that is different. I would check this axle is the same as the other side. Would you like me to do so?
No.
The front stop sign labeled on both sides. I have a battery box compartment here. Batteries are secure. They're sealed, no excessive corrosion or swelling. Last but not least, I'm going to check my mirror, relatch my hood. I am done with my exterior inspection. Beginning of the passenger compartment section, I'm going to check my cross arm. We'll demonstrate that it works later. Entry doors open smoothly, no broken glass. Hinges and seals are in place. My handrail is securely mounted with no missing or broken components or catch points. Tread steps are firmly secure, not peeling. As I get up into the bus, I'm going to turn it to the accessory, turn my dome lights on. Once I've got my dome lights on, I'm going to start walking to the back, checking my seats, because I'm checking that my seat frames are secure to the floor with no missing bolts and no cracked frames. As I come back, I'm checking my emergency labels to make sure their exits are properly labeled, and instructions and warning buzzard works. As I keep coming back, I'm going to inspect the wheelchair lift, make sure there's no broken or missing parts. There's no fluid on the ground indicating an issue. My back emergency door is properly labeled. Audible sound. As I'm coming back up, I'm going to check the roof hatch here. Would you like me to check the roof hatch?
No.
It's properly labeled. When I get up to here, we're going to check 3 emergency triangles, body fluid cleanup kit, fire extinguisher properly charged ABC, and a first aid kit and child monitoring mirror. I have 3 reflective triangles, a body fluid cleanup kit, properly charged and rated fire extinguisher, first aid kit, and a properly adjusted child passenger mirror. Outside the bus, I have resettable fuses in the fuse panel. My seat belt, it comes out and retracts properly, latches and unlatches. My mirrors are all properly adjusted. When I first turn the key on, I'm checking for my ABS, warning lights. Once I start the vehicle, I'm making sure all my warning lights go out. As I'm waiting for the air pressure to hit to the governor, I'm going to check that my water temp is rising with the engine. My oil pressure has risen to the proper oil pressure operating range. My tachometer works. Speedometer worked on the way up. Fuel gauge works. It was filled up before I came. My voltage is above 13.5, indicating that the alternator is working. I'm going to wait for the noise for the governor to kick out. It should kick out at 120 on this vehicle. I'm going to shut my vehicle off, turn the key ignition back on. I'm going to press the brake firm, release the park brake. Once my gauge settles, I'm going to time myself for 1 minute to have less than 3 psi loss over the duration of the 60 seconds. Now that the 1 minute is over, I'm going to continue to fan the brakes. Waiting for the warning light to kick on before 60 psi. And audible sound. I'm going to continue to fan the brakes. Before 25 psi, my park brake should automatically engage. All right. Now that I've done that, I'm going to do my indicator checks. I have a left turn signal indicator, right turn signal indicator, warning light indicator, high beam indicator. Press my windshield wipers. Does squirt. There's no rips, tears, or frays in my wiper blades. My windshield has no cracks, chips, or breaks. It is free and clear debris. My amber flasher indicator works. When I open my door, the red flasher indicator works. My doors open and operate smoothly with seals intact. The horn works. I have less than 2 inches of play. Defrost fan works on high, medium, high and low on my defrost fans. I'm checking that my park brake holds. Release the park brake. I'm going to drive up to 5 miles an hour, gently applying the brakes, coming to a stop. My vehicle does not pull left or right, indicating no brake issues.